If you know 7 of these 15 words in Spanish, your Spanish is better than 90% of people. And make sure you watch until the end because I can almost guarantee that you won't know the last word. Número 1, la palabra embarazoso. Embarazoso. I'm going to give you 3 seconds for each word, okay? The word embarazoso in Spanish means embarrassing. What? Nate, I thought embarazoso was pregnant. No, that's embarazada. Okay, embarazada is pregnant, whereas embarazoso is embarrassing. Okay, qué embarazoso. How embarrassing. You could also say something like qué vergüenza. Vergüenza would be like shame, and this could also be translated as embarrassing. Or if you really want to get niche, in Mexico, you could say something like que oso. Que oso, literally translating to what a bear. This also means how embarrassing. Que oso. Okay, but embarazoso means embarrassing. For example, fue un momento embarazoso cuando caí frente a todos. Número 2, desvelado. Desvelado. Desvelado means sleep deprived. It's when you haven't slept. In fact, there's a really good Mexican song called Desvelado. I recommend you go listen to it. So, for example, estoy bien desvelado porque me quedé despierto estudiando hasta las 3 de la mañana. Or, ¿tú también estás desvelado o solo yo? Desvelado y sin tu amor. Oh, no, it's sin su. Desvelado y sin su amor. Ah, no, esos tus papás no me quieren. Ok, número 3. Actualmente. Actualmente. The word actualmente means currently. It does not mean actually. If you want to say actually in Spanish, you could say something like de hecho, translating to actually or in fact, or you could say something like realmente, which would mean really, or could take on the translation of actually. So for example, I could say to you, actualmente vivo en Antártida. Currently, I live in Antarctica, can't you tell? Or, actualmente muchas personas trabajan desde casa. Currently, or nowadays, lots of people work from home. Número 4, quedar. Quedar. Now, the word quedar is a tricky one because in reality, it can mean a lot of different things. For example, quedar could mean to stay. It could mean to fit. It could also mean to agree. It could also mean to be left. That is why this is kind of a tricky one here, but let's take a look at some examples. Solo quedan 2 boletos para el concierto. Solo quedan 2 boletos para el concierto. There are only 2 tickets left for the concert, okay? Only 2 tickets left, quedan. Or, esa camisa te queda perfecta, okay? That shirt fits you perfectly, te queda. You could also say, quedamos para las 8. Quedamos para las 8. We agreed on 8 o'clock. And the last example, quédate, por favor. Quédate, por favor. Stay, please. So quedar can mean lots of different things. Número 5, asistir. Asistir. Asistir means to attend. I'm just giving you a bunch of tricky words right now. Have you noticed? Asistir, meaning to attend, okay? For example, asistí a la universidad por 4 años. I attended university for 4 years. Now, here's the funny thing about this word. Atender, which you would think would mean to attend, means to assist. So they are literally flipped in Spanish, okay? Asistir, to attend. Atender, to assist. Another example, ¿vas a asistir a la boda de Marta? ¿Vas a asistir a la boda de Marta? Are you going to attend or are you going to go to Marta's wedding? Número 6, sensible. Sensible means sensitive. It does not mean sensible. It means sensitive. So you could say, soy una persona sensible. Okay, I am a sensitive person. There's a song by Juan Gabriel, and he says, soy insensible, blah, 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 blah. Can't remember the words. Anyways, in that song, he's saying that he is insensitive. Ay, Juanga. You could also say something like, tengo dientes sensibles al frío. Tengo dientes sensibles al frío. I have teeth that are sensitive to cold. Número 7. Aún. Now, the word aún is tricky because without an accent, the word aún means even, okay? For example, ¿aún me estás escuchando? Are you even listening to me? ¿Aún me estás escuchando? However, aún with an accent over it means still or yet. For example, aún te amo. I still love you. Now, you might be thinking, Nate, it doesn't really seem like there's a pronunciation difference between aún without an accent and aún with an accent. And you'd be exactly right. Aún and aún are pronounced exactly the same. The only reason that we put an accent over the u in one example is because in writing it provides us with extra context. However, when we are speaking Spanish, we will understand the difference between aún without an accent and aún with an accent based off of the context clues. Número 8. Cuyo. Cuyo means whose. Now, let's be honest, in modern day Spanish, we don't really use this word a whole lot. It is mostly seen in literary contexts. So, for example, la mujer cuyo hijo ganó el premio estaba llorando. La mujer cuyo hijo ganó el premio estaba llorando. So in this case, cuyo means whose. Another example could be, es un escritor cuyos libros siempre me inspiran. Es un escritor cuyos libros siempre me inspiran. Okay? He is a writer whose books always inspire me. Número 9. Ya. The word ya, just like the word quedar, can mean many different things in English. Ya can mean already. It could mean now. It could mean anymore. And it can also be used just to provide emphasis in a sentence. For example, ya terminé la tarea. Ya terminé la tarea. I already finished the homework. Or if we're angry, we can say, ya basta. Ya basta. That's enough already. Knock it off. Ya basta. We can also just say the word ya by itself when someone asks you, for example, something like, oye, ¿ya comiste? Ya? Did you already eat? Yep, I already ate. Ya. You can just say ya. Número 10. Ojalá. The word ojalá in Spanish means I hope, or hopefully, or I wish, or it can even mean God willing. Ojalá mi amigo venga a la fiesta. Hopefully my friend comes to the party. Or ojalá que no llueva mañana. Ojalá que no llueva mañana. Hopefully it doesn't rain tomorrow, or I hope it doesn't rain tomorrow. Número 11. Realizar. Realizar means to carry out or to execute, or it can also mean to achieve. Now, be careful, this is a false friend. Realizar does not mean to realize. If you want to say that you realize something, you would say, me di cuenta de que whatever, okay? I realized blah, blah, blah. Whereas realizar would be used in a situation like, vamos a realizar el proyecto la próxima semana. We are going to finish or execute or carry out the project next week. Another example, el artista realizó una obra impresionante. So the artist made, created, carried out, executed an impressive work of art. Número 12. Equivocarse. Equivocarse. Equivocarse means to be wrong or to make a mistake. For example, todos nos equivocamos a veces. No pasa nada. Es normal. Todos nos equivocamos a veces. Es normal. We all make mistakes sometimes. It's okay. All good. Todos nos equivocamos. We all make mistakes. Or, me equivoqué de número. Let's say you're calling someone, you say, oh, Me equivoqué de número. Oh, I dialed the wrong number. Me equivoqué. Let's say you're apologizing to someone. Lo siento. Me equivoqué. I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I made a mistake. Me equivoqué. Número 13. I love this word. Sábelo todo. Sábelo todo. Okay, so sábelo todo is literally a know-it-all, a know-it-all. Sábelo todo. For example, no seas sábelo todo. Don't be a know-it-all. No seas sábelo todo. Don't be a know-it-all. Another example, ese tipo es un sábelo todo. Me cae mal. That guy is a know-it-all. I don't like him. Número 14, aprovechar. Aprovechar means to take advantage of or to make the most of something. So this can be both a bad thing and a good thing. For example, hay que aprovechar el tiempo para descansar. Hay que aprovechar el tiempo para descansar. We should take advantage of free time to rest. Or, ella aprovechó de la oportunidad de estudiar en el extranjero. Ella aprovechó de la oportunidad de estudiar en el extranjero. So she took advantage of, or she made the most out of the fact, the opportunity to study abroad. So once again, this can be a bad thing and it can be a good thing. For example, ella se aprovechó de mí. Se aprovechó de mí. She took advantage of me. But it can also be positive. Se aprovechó de la oportunidad. She took advantage of the opportunity. She made the most out of the opportunity. And finally, a word that I can barely pronounce, which is why I'm going to read it, is otorrinolaringólogo. Means an ear, nose, and throat doctor. Now, the reality is that native speakers can often just say, for example, otorrino. So, oye, hoy fuiste al otorrino? Did you go to the ear, nose, and throat doctor? And that's okay. It's kind of like saying, did you go to the ENT in English? So, an example could be, tengo que ir al Man, I can't even pronounce this word. An example could be, tengo que ir al otorrinolaringólogo por un problema de audición. Or, el otorrinolaringólogo me recomendó una cirugía menor. So, how many of these words did you get right? Leave a comment down below. And if you want to learn how to become fluent in Spanish, click the link in the video description to join my Fluent Spanish Speaker Academy. Our goal is to help you have a 10-minute conversation in 90 days without feeling nervous. Check it out by clicking the link in the video description. Muchas gracias y espero que tengas muy buen día. Hasta luego.